is a less fortunate family. This lady's over here barely has, not well dressed older family. This is not a picture moment. We pray with them, we do all that stuff. It's like, this is not a picture moment. Like, I don't want to put this, and this gets into the oracle, and there's tens of thousands of people looking at this lady or us doing this in her home and like this shack, or like, hey, let's pray with you. God bless you. Hopefully next year we don't have to come. I'm almost like, I pray every year when I do this that we don't have to bless you next year. What up? It's Three Brothers No Sense. I am Tavares Ferguson, a.k.a. Ferg, joined with my co-host, Buff and Rozzy. Fellas, tell them what's on your mind.
I just want to say homeschooling is kicking my butt. It's my daughter's in the first grade, and they have like all kind of stuff. I can do the work. It's the technology that really is pissing me off because it's glitchy. They don't have like the best interfaces and things like that. So little stuff like she'll type in an answer and it's not in the right spot, and she has to move the box to get it in the right spot, but the box won't move and all this. It's just annoying. So I've been kind of dealing with that while being back at work, while, being quarantined. I can't get away. Bruh, it's just, I need something to shake. So school ends in 2 weeks, and I am ready for it to end 100%.
Well, not to burst your bubble, but this might be the new norm. They're talking about not opening schools next year,
Yeah, that's what I hear. I know even for college, Haley was telling me that they may not let them move back into the dorms, and they may do all online classes for the fall for most colleges as well. And on top of that, football might not be coming back. I hear the NFL, but even college, especially college, they may not be bringing it back. Yep.
The whole sports world is turned upside down because I'm thinking about like the NBA, somebody like LeBron who's like, this might be my year to make it all happen. The Warriors are hurt. Durant's been down. If they pick the season back up, people are going to be recouping from their injuries. Durant might be able to play. If they pick the NBA up in the next few months, he might be good to play the rest of the season.
I was thinking about that.
It's like, man, I can't win for losing. So, I mean, that's a good problem to have when you're making millions and millions of dollars. But it's weird. So, Buff, what's going on with you, man?
Just completed my 2 weeks of I can't even lie. I really only did about a full week, but I finished my 2 weeks of working. Now I'm back on 2 weeks of admin. But thanks to a trip that we had planned to go to New York, I had approved leave already for my first week to go back. So I kept those days. So I only worked Friday that first week, and then I worked Saturday through Friday for this week. But I'm glad to be off and glad to have the 2 weeks. And you mentioned NBA, Ferg. I'm looking forward to The Last Dance, man. We don't have any live sports right now. ESPN moved up their 10-part documentary on Michael Jordan's last season in Chicago when they beat the Utah Jazz for the championship. I'm looking forward to that joint, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely going to be a trip down memory lane. Speaking of, like, how impactful do you think this time period is going to be in your life? Like, how do you think you're going to always go back to 2020, the quarantine years? Like, is it going to be up there with 9/11, those moments in history that you remember?
What is it? It's Pearl Harbor. It's 9/11. It's probably when Kennedy got assassinated. I mean, it's up there. 2020 is up there. And like you say, first we got to see what the new normal is going to be, because we may have a constant reminder. You know what I mean? Depending on what the new normal is, that, hey, remember when we used to, not wear a mask out at the mall and stuff? You know what I mean? So
yeah, I mean, it's definitely changed.
Yeah, that may become a normal, like in Japan and China, in those areas where when you're sick, you put a mask on. That is a social norm there that I think may come over and actually become a norm here too.
It's definitely, the world's not. I don't think that we're ever going to be the same after this. I mean, people are much more aware of hygiene, social distancing, disinfecting. It's crazy. You know, my wife and I were just talking about, you know, when things kind of get back to normal and just having people at the house. We're not having those big gatherings like we used to. At least mindset is right now that's not going to happen. And even then, we ask people to take off their shoes at the door. Okay, if not, then are we going to steam clean the floors after everybody leaves? And like, it's a lot of things you have to take in consideration moving forward, even after this dies down, because you just need to start getting in the habit of hygiene and just disinfecting and just infection control. So,
well, speaking of hygiene, though, I mean, some people have gone the other way with the hygiene, and there's folks that's taking baths once, twice a week now because they ain't got to leave the house.
Are you one of those somebody's resident?
So, no, I take one every morning because it's one of those things that I need to feel fresh. When I'm online, because I'm doing most of my work is online now, you know, in conference calls and video conferences and stuff. And so I just feel like I need to go ahead and bathe and everything. So I still take my showers. But I've heard stories. And then there's the whole bra thing. Like, women just aren't wearing bras anymore. Like, are they going to start back now? I mean, they've had a month of just freeness.
That's what you're worried about.
Well, are you for or against?
I mean, I am definitely with no bras. Like, let them hang, ladies. Let them hang.
I'm not gonna give my opinion on that. But no, it's crazy because it's been crazy for me because, like, the same way you say you have to do hygiene and stuff like that, I think about, I'm used to dressing up. I'm in sales. So, you know, either I'm wearing a suit or I'm going out in a shirt and tie, or at least a button down daily. I think I've worn sweats every day for the last month and a half.
Dude, I've been on conference calls in PJs. Like, not even sweats, you know, and so it's like a suit or like a button down on the top and like some PJs.
You don't even wear a shirt. You don't even wear a shirt tied at the top.
I've worn t-shirts and sweats. And for anybody that knows me, I kind of like to dress up. Like, I like clothes. You know, that's my guilty pleasure, is clothes and food. So I'm not dying, you know, believe it or not. I probably bought more sweats in the last year and a half because I think I work out more than I have in the last 10 years. And they're getting their use, because I definitely didn't wear sweats. I wear sweats and a t-shirt every day, and not having a haircut is throwing me off. And my line brothers are trying to get me to cut my own hair, and they said all I need is a guard. And I'm like, I don't trust that. So for you non-hair having people or low cut wearing people that can just cut it off, I envy you right now, because I don't know what to do with mine. I just don't want to go bald. I look like Chewbacca out here. But I'm getting my beard together, though. I will say that.
Just wear hats, man.
I can't wear hats. I have hat head, man. Like, my hair is that thick.
Yeah, bro, you might need to just shave it down. Like, worst case scenario, or not cut it all the way off, but yeah, you throw a 3 or 4 guard on there and at least cut it down. It's not going to hurt anything. Stay with the grain. But you got
my hair has different textures and it goes different ways, man. We're not about to talk about haircuts right now, man. What I want to talk about is how some people aren't taking this serious enough. So, you know, I'm gonna hold that comment, and I think I might talk about it on the later part of the show. So.
It's truth, though. They aren't. Oh, I do want to shout out to Brandon Davis with the special episode on the COVID-19. That was huge, man. That if you guys haven't listened to that Rona part 1, go check that out. It is very, very informative. And this morning we actually recorded part 2, and it's on the economics side of it. And so he had 2 very, very smart economists on there. So you guys, that'll be dropping this Wednesday. Be sure to go out and listen to that one as well.
Yeah, man, that was a great episode. I listened to it and I shared it on multiple groups, and I hope people actually took a chance to listen to it and took time to listen to it, because there was some good facts, and it was coming from our people, just kind of giving to us realistically, you know. So a lot of stuff we can learn and probably more so unlearn, because especially when this thing kicked off, it was all these, not only conspiracy theories, but it was also these, I guess, backwoods solutions to coronavirus, and wives' tale, drink some hot water and you'll be okay, and don't do this, and stay away from aspirins. And it's just like everything, every time you turn around, somebody was telling you how not to get the coronavirus. And of course, my favorite is that black people are immune to coronavirus, because you definitely don't see any black people getting it. And fast forward to until April, and completely different story. But I think that's a good place to stop, fellas. Let's go ahead and pay these bills so we can get into the questions.
Love, exciting and new.
Hello, Hannah Waddingham here. Have you seen the fabulous new Sun Princess? World-class entertainment, exceptional dining, and the greatest pizza ever.
It's a love.
Don't miss our Come Aboard sale with up to 40% off and free room upgrades. Visit princess.com or call your travel advisor to book. Princess Cruises. Terms and restrictions apply. Offer ends 2/28/25. Ships of Bermudan and British Registry.
Well, we're back. Three Brothers No Sense. And, it's that time of the show where one mic stand. Razi, what do you have for us?
So I was trying to find a good one, and somebody, we've had these issues with the toilet paper shortage and everything like that. And so, I was watching the Terminator movie, and I was wondering, where'd he find his toilet paper? And I was like, oh, I get it. I'll be back.
I'll let you take that one first.
No. You guys want to laugh. Get it? I'll be back. I'll be in the back. No, never mind.
I can't remember the first one, but I can't remember some of the older ones, but that one might be the worst. So.
Yeah, that might be.
That was bad.
that was horrible. Hey, Buff, what did your mom? You can't say anything nice.
Yeah, don't say anything at all.
I tried. They're just right.
Hey, he was on a hot streak, so he was he was down for off game.
Hey, you got a bomb. It's one of those things. You got to try. You got to test the material, man.
Like Deion Cole. You ever seen him when he's doing those new jokes? He was sitting there with his notepad, like, okay, I'm gonna lose that one. Yeah, Razi, X that one from your repertoire. Well, fellas, I'm gonna open up with talking about the coronavirus, because it's a hot topic. And I don't know if you guys saw the video of the block party in Pensacola.
Mm-hmm.
I think they said it was like 5,000 people out there. And I think we had one in our hometown in Mobile. I think it was in Trinity Garden.
PA.
Oh, was it PA? It was in PA?
45, yeah.
Okay. And what made me think of it is because I read an article not too long after that, talking about a housing project in New York that they were just running rampant with coronavirus victims. They actually found a mother and her son, a little older, in their house. They had already passed, and the only reason they found them is because the smell got too bad and the neighbors called the police. And it made me think, because it's easy to automatically judge people. And when you read that article, it talks about the living environments and what they're dealing with, and kind of the need to escape, like almost like being in a cage. And, the three of us all have pretty decent sized houses, and, so we can kind of move about, even stuck in the house, go in the backyard, go in the front yard. Buff goes in the man cave, or whatever the case may be, to get away. A lot of these people don't have those options. Do you feel like is it just a lack of knowledge? Do you think it's circumstantial, or a little of both, that are making a lot of the African Americans and other minorities just targets sitting ducks for this epidemic or this pandemic, I might as well say?
I don't know if it's lack of knowledge. I think it's multifaceted, right? It's a lot of things are causing it. One is Black people are very much concentrated in urban centers, right? So one, you have places where Black people are usually more compressed, and so they're seeing people, touching people, dealing with people a lot more often than if, say, in the South or in rural areas where more of your less educated whites are, right? So a lot of your less educated Black people are going to be in those urban centers, and so while there may be a little bit of level of education with it, you've got that. You've got also the risky behavior is synonymous with those poorer communities, right? They just are, they're really bad about small things, like they don't use protection when they have sex. And so there's higher STD rates in those areas and things like that. So risky behavior is part of it. Also, just being able to say, I'm going to socially distance when I've got to get up and go to work. So a lot of times it's not just, oh, they're throwing block parties, but it's, I still got to go to work. I still got to go and serve. I still got to go and drive that bus. I've still got to go do what I got to do to pay my bills. And so they're interacting with people a lot more often. And then they come in, and yes, there may be a little bit of, lower hygiene standards and things like that. They may not have as high hygiene standards. They may not think about that as often. So they may come in the house and go straight to eat instead of coming in and washing their hands and sanitizing and then going and eat. Or even if they come in or they work at a restaurant, so they brought something home from the restaurant, they come in and they may not wash their hands before they go ahead and eat, or they're eating on the way home, or they're eating at the restaurant, but they don't wash their hands before. So you've got a lot of different factors that are causing our community to get hit harder. But I don't want to be like, oh yeah, it's just because we don't know better. It's like, it really is a historical, and I hate to kind of always go back to, think about slavery and how the system has put us in this position, but really it is that whole system has been put in place and put those people in those positions to now that they're having to deal with it, and it is hitting them harder than some of the other even poor communities that are more rural and spread out. And they're it's easy to social distance when your neighbor's 2 miles down the road. You don't see them that often anyway. It's easy to social distance when going to Walmart is going into the city. It's a lot harder when, I have one grocery store in my 10 block radius, and all of us have to go to that one spot to get groceries. And so we're packed in there no matter what. And then the grocery store may be overwhelmed, so they may not be following the social distancing rule and making sure that only so many people can be in there, so the 6 foot rules out of the way and all that stuff. So it's larger than that, but it definitely isn't just one particular thing or one negative thing against us.
Control, like you have to go to work. And it might be some lack of judgment. It's okay, I was eating on the way home and I forgot to wash my hands. But a block party, like a full-fledged block party with thousands of people,
the block party happened this weekend, but your president wants to reopen the nation.
Yeah, but he's stupid.
In a week.
I mean, if we're using him to set the bar, I mean, we know who this guy is. I mean, he wants to be a king. He's going to let the governors run the states. Ooh, wow. Who would have thunk that? This guy's a freaking idiot. But it's the fact that you have thousands of people, hey, I got to go to work. I might have to catch the bus. I might have to go to Walmart, but it's thousands of people out there partying and stuff like that. Do we not take it serious enough, or do we truly just not know better? Is it not serious? What's going on? Buff, help me out, man.
So I think Orazio touched on a lot of great points. So I won't reiterate a lot of those, but some of the ones I would like to add to his list is like one. So your overall question is, it seems like it's targeting us and we're dying at a higher rate than other races. I think for one, it can be lack of resources. So like, they're telling us to get the Clorox, the bleach wipes and the Lysols and the sanitizers and stuff like that. You're already struggling to buy food, pay for childcare, clothes, daycare, all that kind of stuff. Like, and I don't know about you guys, but like we're literally like wiping down things like all day, every day. So that stuff runs out quick. We sanitizing all day, every day. A lot of stuff runs out quick, and they may not have the resources to get the things they need to protect themselves. Also, our immune system. You look at people like residents in Baltimore who are still living in row houses with lead paint. You look at Flint, Michigan, who they were drinking water with lead in it for years. So who knows how, like that project you mentioned in New York, who knows how weak their immune system was already, or in Black communities all across the nation as well, to go with that. Also, some of it is ignorance. I think Razio kind of disagreed with that point. I want to add to it is fact, like by now everyone has heard about coronavirus, but if you're not truly paying attention to it, there are like some small, very important details that you can miss. So like everybody knows to wash their hands. That's what they were stressing at the beginning. All you got to do is wash your hands. If you wash your hands, you'll be good. Now we're learning there's more than that. Now we're learning that it can last in the air for a while. It can land on your shoes and live on your shoes for you while, or your clothes. How many of these hardworking Black people are coming home, taking their shoes off outside, taking their clothes off as soon as they get in the door, versus like walking through the house, tracing it all over the place, things like that. So you really got to be paying attention, because this is a disease we haven't had before. It's evolving on our intelligence and our knowledge of it. Stress. You mentioned the people that had the block party in our old city and in Pensacola. Look, man, Black people on a norm got enough to deal with. Now you put this on their plate. It's like, listen, we want to have some fun. Okay. We're not trying to be locked down. We need to get out, even if it's against their better judgment. They're going to want to do that. And lastly, I just want to point out, I think when you say we don't take it serious enough, and I rail against conspiracy theories all the time, but the reason why we have so many conspiracy theories in the Black community is because we lack trust in our government and authority in this nation as a whole. Been lied to. I think we talked about on the previous episode. Police derived from, slave catchers, the Tuskegee experiment. Like, we have been lied to so much to where we don't trust anything, redlining our neighborhoods and things like that. So you telling us there's this invisible thing that may kill you, so you got to stay in your house. You got a lot of Black people like, man, nah, I ain't feeling that. No, I'm getting out. I'm going to do what I want to do. So all of that combined with what Razio said leads to us being subjected to being a higher fatality rate with this virus.
And I agree with you guys. I think there's a lot of things where sometimes it's outside of our scope, or we can't, I don't know. I mean, back to we can control what we can control. Like, if we're a lot of us are the frontline workers in our community. We're the people that have to do those things. We're the ones that a lot of us can't work from home and stuff like that. But you brought up trust. We're probably the biggest conspiracy theorists in the world. We don't trust anybody, like you said. And so I would think that we're probably the most cautious. We're the same people that turn the lights off when it's lightning. Like, we don't trust anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, how are we so careless? I mean, yes, the things Razi you mentioned are cool. Yes, the fact that life's tough and stress, but to have a block, I mean, I guess I can't get over it. Like, we're literally having a block party knowing that Black people are dying at an alarming rate and a higher rate than anybody else in the country. And so we're just going to all go out and concentrate in whatever the opposite of social distance is. That's what we just did. Like, we literally just did the opposite of what we're supposed to do, the exact opposite, and I'm pretty sure people were barbecuing, people were smoking, sharing the same blunt. Like, it's all kind of stuff that was going on that was going to put us in a worse situation. And I pray for my hometown. I pray for Pensacola. I hope that we are lucky enough that that doesn't spark a huge spiral of just cases. Yeah. But you got to think, why is New Orleans so big right now? Because of things like Mardi Gras. It's those same behaviors. And I'm not saying it's Black New Orleans. It's just those same behaviors having those events. So everything we've done in the last month can be undone in a few hours. And it's just like, and I think you made a good point where I think a lot of it is knowledge. We just don't know any better, because it's the first thing you hear is you have to wash your hands and sanitize and stuff like that. But every time you turn around, there's new information.
Yeah.
Then that new information might contradict what you heard the day before. So that's a big thing,
And on top of that, there's a whole lot of misinformation out there. There are people that are still saying there's theories, that it's a conspiracy theory, or even, some of the conspiracy theories are that it was a virus created to kill Black people. Well, if that's the case, stay your butt at home, because it's created to kill you. Like, even if you want to roll down the conspiracy theory route, it's still a virus that's out there that can kill you.
Nothing about it says relax.
Sit down.
Nothing about anything you heard, outside of Black people are immune to it, which was quickly debunked. Says, hey, let's do this. Let's go have a block party. The area in New York, and I don't think they probably didn't have a block party, but, I think it goes back to being in those areas, confined spaces, sometimes having overcrowded houses, and I just need to get out. So I'm going outside, I'm sitting on the stoop, I'm sitting outside, and I'm hollering at my homeboy, and you're not social distancing, because you're hollering. I'm only hollering at Rozzy, but who did Rozzy holler at before he got here? And who did that person holler at before they got here? And those are diseases and things are transmitted,
Yeah. And you got to think about, especially in some of those urban centers where there's a apartment complex that has like a single entry, so everybody is using that single entry door to buzz in, buzz out, go upstairs, hit the elevator, go on, holding the rails of the stairs and things like that. So you also have to think about that in those urban centers where they technically can't social distance because they're having to touch things that other people are touching constantly. So you also have that where there's going to be a higher rate of transmission just based on, hey, we got people touching things that I don't know who touched this before. Whereas like in my house, I know who comes in my door. I know who comes in. I can stop anybody from coming in. I know who's touched my front door and my doorknobs. So it's that part of it too, where you're just going to have a natural higher transmission.
Yeah. And I'm talking about the extreme cases. We're talking about block parties and stuff like that. But I'm thinking about a lot of people I just know that are, they're not carrying on life as normal, but they're taking way more chances than you would think. I have family members and friends.
Yeah. I even fussed at my mom because, she was like, let's go to Walmart. And she's like, me and you go to Walmart. I'm like, why? Why would we put two people out there to be exposed? I'm like, no, one of us will go to Walmart and then you're going to wash up when you get home. That's how it's going to work.
I'm going to stop by Dad's house or, I'm about to go swing by Pop's house today. And they're like, no, nobody's been in my house outside of the 4 people that stay there in the last over a month. Z's probably left the house maybe twice. I'm the only person that leaves the house really. Like it's and my habits have changed over that. Like now I don't wear shoes in the house, like as we find out more information, she wipes down. And, I kind of get on her because I think she's overreacting, but, she still wipes down and maybe that's it. Maybe we're kind of always think people are overreacting because, we ordered Instacart today and she's wiping down the groceries. And I'm like, but she's right, so maybe I'm part of the problem, maybe I'm willing to do certain things, but I'm not willing to do all things.
No.
But But please don't have no block parties. If any of our listeners are there, please do not have block parties. Please do not go to block parties. Please not do anything.
It was kind of hard to excuse that. Like, I think the points me and Rozzy was making mostly was like with the New York project you referenced. It's kind of the only thing, and this isn't a defense, but having a block party and stuff like that. So the three of us, I don't want to say we're well off, but we are probably more comfortable than lower income individuals. So we're able to, I guess, think about things on a macro level versus them. They only can think about their personal issues. They don't have time to worry about, is this wiped down? Is that wiped down? Should I not go hang out on Highway 45? Hey, it look like it's fun out there on Highway 45. I want to go have fun. I'm about to go have fun. I don't have time to think about who I might affect when I get back home and things like that. So, yeah, I think,
and like I said, that risky behavior of if I catch it, I catch it. It's only a 3% death rate, so I got a 97% chance of getting better off of it.
They ain't doing the math, bro. I'm telling you,
not,
bro,
but I'm just saying the quick math of it is my chances are okay. If I do catch it, I'm gonna be all right. So I'm good. That they're not thinking past that.
I'm a firm believer that most people believe that things don't happen to them. And I think I said that a few episodes ago. Like, one thing I realized about life, situations that I've been in the last few years, and just being like, you realize that you're a part of this thing called life. We're at almost 30,000 people in America have died. It's 30,000 people that probably thought doesn't happen to them. It can happen to you. And there's a lot of times you just think, I'm not going to be the one that catches it. And so it's not that doing the math. It's just, what are the chances of me catching it? That's that white people stuff. I don't know, man. Please don't go block parties. Please don't do any stupid stuff. Buff, did I cut you off, man? I know you were talking.
No, I got it all up.
All right. On to the next one, man.
So I'm going to ask this. So I asked a very different question last week. And I think to an extent, we've kind of touched on this question before, but I just wanted to get you guys, I guess, answer on record, because once again, I'm going to reveal one of my flaws. So we've talked about, Razio has made the limp wrist joke from time to time on here. And we have definitely, I feel like we've spoken up for gay people and their rights and how they should be treated the same. But I guess I still have some of my old ways that creep back up on me sometimes. So I wanted to ask you guys this question and, be bold and answer honestly. How would you react? So I asked in the past, how would you feel if somebody offered to buy your lady a drink at the club? How would you guys feel if a gay guy offered to buy you a drink and came and hit on you? Like, are you going to recoil and automatically be defensive, or do you handle it just like you would if a female hits on you that you're not attracted to? Be honest. Don't put on for the show.
I'll go first. I would be flattered. It's funny. One of my gay friends, he was saying, he was like, gay guys don't like every dude out there. Like, we're not attracted to every guy out there. So if a gay guy hits on you, it's because he's attracted to you the same way. Like you talked about the female who I'm not really feeling like they don't know. I mean, now I might think, am I putting off signs or something like that? Right. To be like, why you feel comfortable enough that, you can hit on me. But, if it's one of those things that we're in a bar that is very, very open, because the kind of feel of a bar. And if it's one of those bars that it's like a very, very straight lace type bar and they hit on me, that might be something a little different than if it's kind of a really open bar, fluid bar. And so we're just kind of there chilling, and he's testing the waters and like, hey, you want me to buy you a drink, or can I buy you a drink? And I'm like, nah, I'm good. Appreciate it. I think that's it. It's like, no, I'm good. I
Why you
appreciate
can't
it.
accept the drink?
Because I'm not gay. And like we talked
You don't
about,
have to be gay to
like
accept the drink.
No. Like we talked about, when guys buy drinks, there is a level of expectation of some reciprocation, even if it's just some time.
If I'm not mistaken, you guys said it was okay for your wives to accept that drink. That doesn't mean she wants to go and be with them. So why can't you accept the drink from the gay guy?
Because I don't want any misconceptions of that reciprocation.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure.
So what say you, Ferg?
I don't think I would necessarily be. My instant thought wouldn't be I'm gonna be flattered. You know, that's not gonna be. I think.
I'm like, oh, me, thank you.
You know, it's like, now how ugly is this gay dude? Now I'm just bullshitting. No, but you know, like I hope to. I think I would be caught off guard for real. Like honestly, I'd be like, what the f-? You know, like
is it this pink blazer I wore?
Yeah. You know, like is it?
Like I said, am I putting off vibes?
Am I putting off vibes?
What
is my you know, because once again, I like to dress. You know, I have my own style, so you know, I might not dress like the average guy. So it's like, damn, my shirt too tight? Am I, you know, like, am I giving off signs? But I don't think I'd accept a drink. I'm with Razi on that. I don't want to mislead this person that there's an opportunity for this to go any farther. You know, if they come off respectful and stuff like that, because I'm saying no regardless. Like if they come off like extra cocky and trying to like, they walk up to the bar like yeah, let me get a rum and coke and whatever he's drinking. I'm like, nah, I'm good. You know, like like I've used that line. Like don't use those lines. I don't want none of that. So what are you drinking? Like I don't know how that goes. But it's just not like I wouldn't be offended. I just want to make sure that he understands that I'm not interested. Continue doing what you're doing. Maybe go over there, especially like if it's a straight laced club. It's like, first of all, what did I give off? You know,
are you gonna ask him that?
I don't know. You know what? I might. Truthfully, I might strike up a conversation. Like, wait a minute now. What made you think that it was cool? Like, were you just testing the waters, or is it like? Do y'all have a special nod that I did? Like, I need to know. Did I give the nod?
Was I tapping my foot too much at the bar? Like, am I supposed to put my left foot on the bar and not my right foot? Like, did I do a sign that I gave them the wrong symbol? But you know what? I'm a cool person. So like, if they're cool, like, sorry, man, yada, 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 thought you were attractive. Just want to, they seem cool. And I'll talk to people. Like I'm a people's person. So I'll talk to people like, hell, does that work? But I wouldn't accept a drink and I wouldn't be offended. I don't think. And I don't think. And I said this other day, the reason we have this, part of the reason we have this show is I always want people to challenge their norm or their initial thought process. You know what I'm saying? Like if I had to rename the show, it would be called On Second Thought. Like my initial thought is this was like, on second thought, you know what? This is how I probably should react. Because we usually just do off GP, and it's more so like, but I don't think I would change that. Like I'm not gonna be violent or anything like that. I'm not about to call dude out. I don't think I'll be as flattered as Razi is, but
again, I mean, this is 38, 39-year-old me. Now, you had to call me at 25, 26. It might have been a totally different story when I'm really, really cute all out. And you like, well,
you dad bod, Razi. So you take your compliments where you can get them. Is that where you at?
Exactly. Exactly. Hey, I'm in this fitness group now. So it's I'm about to get fined for this Vegas trip.
I need to start getting it together, man.
Yeah. Tabitha doing her thing, man.
I got to get it, man. I got to get motivated again. When I work out, I like to be in the gym. It's hard for me to work out at home.
Yeah, working out at home sucks, bro.
Like it is hard. And I just I get so distracted by the office, but no, let's not digress. Let's not get distracted. Buff, what say ye?
Okay, I thought I was gonna get off without having to answer my own question.
You the frugal one. No, Bryce is the Jew, but you do like to be cheap sometimes.
We're not going to perpetuate that stereotype, Ferg.
Yeah, you're right. When I said it, I was wondering if you were going to call me out.
Yeah,
I wondered if you were going to call me out.
I would hope. Well, so my answer probably won't be all that PC. I would definitely be. I think I would be weirded out by it because it's never happened to me, and it's not something that I would ever expect to happen to me. So if it were to happen, kind of like how you guys said, like, yo, what did I wear something? Did I do something? Like, you know what I'm saying? But I think some people would hear those answers that we said and would be like, you guys are treating it as though it's wrong to be putting off a gay vibe or to have a gay man be attracted to you. So if anyone feels that way, please correct us on that. But that's just honestly how I think I would feel. And I do think I would get upset if they don't take that first no. You know what I mean? Like, how some guys, when they approach a woman, it's like, no, I'm good. He's like, no, baby, that's for you right there. You know?
Yeah.
And they keep going.
Like, I ain't want your ugly ass anyway.
You a tease?
Yeah. And I gotta agree with y'all. I'm not accepting the drink, but I'm definitely not flattered like Orazio. I'm not sure. I think I would be calm. I just think I would be a little more weird than you guys have admitted to. But long as they're not too pushy or whatever, I think.
But this is also me being me and being semi-arrogant. I actually, I'll probably feel the same way if an ugly chick approached me. So,
like you actually thought?
Did I give off vibes that made me feel desperate? That you thought you could buy me a drink? That was me years ago. So yeah, I'm a lot nicer now, but I would get offended if you're like, how dare you? Yeah.
I definitely think I've matured enough to the point to where I won't be like, N-word, what the F? I ain't, you know what I'm saying? It like automatically make it a hostile, confrontational thing. I think I definitely would be mature and be like, nah, I'm good, man. Not that way. And I think I would be curious as to what I did to make them want to approach me.
Now you got me thinking of Buddy from Martin, the big gay dude from Martin. He's always hit on Martin. Like I'm over here looking like a milk dud with that beard on.
So Razi was like, so Razi smiling and saying, "Oh, thank you. So you like this shirt, huh?
My little Italian stallion."
He all flattered and stuff. Okay, good to know.
Oh my God! Oh, Razi,
how I feel inside and how I react are two different things.
They like me. They really like me. Razi, close us out, man.
So I'll close out. Actually, this probably is going to be a short answer for you guys, but it kind of goes along this same line. So I've seen, they've got all these TikToks going out right now, and everybody's all on TikTok, and so everybody's doing these different challenges. And so I saw one that was like hit the switch. I don't know if y'all know which one that is. It's where you have two people in the camera, and then they turn the switch off, turn it back on, and they've switched places, switched clothes, and everything like that. And I saw a couple of like husbands doing it with their wives, or even like fathers doing it with their daughters. And so my question to you guys is, would you hit the switch with your spouse or your daughter?
No.
Period.
Yeah,
that's it.
It
Not even if like it depends on what they're wearing, or you just wouldn't do it at all.
Oh yeah, you mean like if they're wearing like a t-shirt and sweats or whatever like that, or like something that is interchangeable with a male and a female, maybe, but not
or just but still kind of in a like your wife is backing it up on you, and then boom, y'all hit the switch. Now you backing it up on her. Or you dancing on her the same kind of way or something like that. Like,
not to knock anybody that does it, but no, that's not my style. I don't play spades like that.
I'm going to say no too. And it's not because of the gender roles or me worrying about people think. Like, I'm not big into those I don't like that attention that comes with these challenges. You know, like I don't get into all of that. But in the same token, I know there's a chapter or there was a group of bros that used to do a charity walk in like high heels. I forgot what it was for.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen it
was like breast cancer awareness, and it was like walk a mile in their shoes or something like that.
I saw a lot of my frat brothers give those bros flack for that. And so if it was for a good cause and stuff like that, I'm secure enough in my manhood that I'm not worried about what anybody else thinks because of that. You know, if that was the walk a mile in their shoes and, you know, wear this and this for the social action or whatever the case may be. Yeah, I'll do it in a heartbeat. Like, I don't care. I'm not that, I can't believe that bro wore this. I can't believe that bro. Dog, grow up, you know, like be a man. Like either you are or you aren't. Like if something like that questions your quote unquote manhood or your masculinity, then you have bigger issues than that. But I just wouldn't do it because I wouldn't do that more than I would do any other challenge. I wasn't doing that, you know. I think the only challenge I've done on Facebook was the ice bucket. Yeah. Like, I don't do those things. You know, it took a lot for me just to do the plank challenge in our health group, you know. And I still I did it once and I haven't done it since then. I do the planks every day. So for that reason, I wouldn't do it. But if it was like something for my daughter's school or we had to do something like that for a project, yeah, in a heartbeat. I'm not just doing it for the Facebook or the gram or something like that to get likes or whatever the case may be. And disclaimer, depends on how long this quarantine goes on and I get bored enough, who knows what the I'll do. But you know, all right, give me something to do. But as of today, that's just not my cup of tea. So
yeah. What
about you?
So me,
you're easy going. You'll do it. I already know.
Definitely would. It's one of those things that if I would never be like, hey, let's do the hit the switch challenge. Because the same way Ferg talked about, like I'm not like, oh, let's go do these things like that. I'm not really for those. I'm not trying to make a spectacle. But if Jenica came to me or Haley was like, hey, let's do this TikTok, I want to do it, I just really don't care. And even if it is, and like I probably wouldn't try to put on anything like sexy, but like one of the ones that I saw was the daughter had on like her cheerleading costume or something like that, and the dad had on his, and then they switched, so the dad put her cheerleading costume on or something. And hold
on. Did he have his own cheerleading costume?
I don't know. No, I don't think so. I think he squozed into it.
No, but you said he had on his. What did he have on?
He had on he had on like just normal t-shirt, jeans or whatever.
Oh, that's what I thought about.
And they switched. So when they hit the switch or whatever, he was in the cheerleading costume. And again, I was in one of the bros groups and they were giving this dude flack. And I'm like, I would do it because if my daughter wants to make that memory and she's laughing and joking with it and it's something that she's like adamant about, I probably would say no the first time, maybe the second time. But after she's like, hey, I really want to do it, let's just play. And it's making that memory with her, I probably would do it. I mean, I really don't care because like you talked about being comfortable in my masculinity, me putting on that cheerleading costume is no different than, fraternities doing it in college and stuff, and they throwing on cheerleading costumes and running around and stuff. It's just having fun, making a spectacle, making memories with my daughter, and then after that we're good. So I probably would.
Yeah, and to that point, I mean, especially this situation, and Christian Bracey brought this up. Annie Baraka Hussein Obama was talking about this other day.
I don't think Hussein is in there.
I'm almost positive it's in there, dude. Just look it up. Was talking about we have to remember that our kids are going through things too. So Jasmine's a preteen. She's locked in the house and she's looking for an escape. If this is 6 months from now and she's just running out of stuff to do and she's just trying to find something to do, and this is what she needs to just experience life or whatever the case may be, then I think, Buff, you're the kind of person, and I think I talked about this before I had my daughter. I was like, I want sons. I want all sons and one girl. I wanted a son first and stuff like that. And just seeing the interaction you had with Jasmine, like, man, there's something special about that father-daughter relationship that made me appreciate it. And so just knowing how you feel about Jasmine, and I could be wrong, if she needed that, I think you would do it. You wouldn't post it on your social media. Like if she had her own social media or her own little school group or whatever, she can do what she wants with it. It's just like, I'm not going to post it on, I'm not about to go on Facebook and Instagram and put it on Three Brothers website or, you know, Three Brothers page or anything like that, or Ferg's page. But if my daughter wanted to post it and like with her friends is what I'm doing with my dad, then by all means, I would be more open to that than me like, hey, Jasmine, wake up. Let's do this TikTok. Like, you know, that won't be me, because I feel like there's a lot of people just looking for stuff to do, but I probably learned what TikTok was maybe 2-3 weeks ago. Like, I just I don't rock with TikTok, you know? So
I've said a long time ago, there is like a race but it seems like a lot of straight men are just dying to put on a dress for likes and laughs on social media. So I'm definitely not in that class. Now, the caveat you added with the whole doing it for charity or stuff like that, I probably could be moved on that. Yeah. But now I'm going all the way back in the Wayback File at Phillips. Was that you, BJ, and Marcus Holloway that dressed up for a drama show?
Really, no? Nigga? Really, my nigga? Like, I don't know if y'all see me readjust in my chair.
Oh, you want all that? Okay.
Really, my nigga? That's how you gonna do
social media though.
Yeah, it was I think was it a Black History play? I don't know what it was.
You guys details now. I don't know what kind of
shoot that was. Man, that was 94, 95.
I don't even think it was 95, dog. It was Phillips, so it was like early 90s.
Yeah, so I think we might have been 7th grade, because I feel like whatever it was, I feel like Tyreek Jones was still in that same play. So if he was still there, it had to be 93, 94.
So the doing it for charity. I would do it for my daughter. And Jasmine begging me, like, you know, for whatever, I don't know what reason it would be, but like you say, 6 months later, she just really think it would be fun. You know, she gets what she wants. For me to say no to her. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think social media is what puts a damper on it, because, you know, your daughter just having those memories with her, you know, like I used to watch growing up in the 90s, watching TV, watching the guys have, you know, the good fathers have tea parties with their daughters and play dress up with their girls and makeup part, like all this stuff, like just like, hey, whatever you want, I just want you to know I'm here for you and I want to spend time and do what you want to do. And it's like, I don't like, am I too cool? Am I worried about what everybody thinks? And I'll say this on live, like I can care less about what anybody. The only person I have to impress in my life is my wife, and temporarily my manager until I can find a better job. You know, like if that's an issue, and then after that it becomes my kids. I think I would if it was for them and that's something they needed, or it was a moment like Rozzy said for them. Like, I'm not gonna post it, and they gonna have to give me a damn good reason. It's just like, Dad, you wanna do TikTok? Let's do it. Nah.
So we got time. Let me ask y'all this. So Ferg, you kind of touched on it. So does putting it on social media cheapen a gesture in your opinion? So there's a guy who gave like about 6 fast food employees. He walked up to the drive-through window and gave each of them $10,000. But he had it recorded and he posted it on like Twitter and different social media. Does it cheapen the gesture that he did for them by recording it?
Not at $10,000.
Ain't no way to cheapen giving $10,000.
No. Imagine the cat that called in sick.
Hey,
y'all got what?
Dog, you know you work my shift, dog. I ain't saying you give me half. But no, you know, I think it that's the problem with social media. It's hard to tell people's intent. Like, if he did it and said, hey, I challenge you to give a tenth of that. I challenge you to give somebody $10. Like they're struggling right now. These are essential workers during this, like I'm assuming it's during this time. Like if you have it to give, do it. If it's not this person, do this, and this. Here's the things you can do if you can give it. That's cool. That's dope. I challenge my mentees to do things all the time. If you're doing it just to say I want likes or I want followers, because that's my thing. Like, I don't know who to trust. Social media makes me question people's true motives. I know people, if they did it, it would just be for the likes. I know people that would do it and it'd be like, hey, let's make the world a better place.
Yeah. But I mean, I made a joke about the whole, $10,000, and at $10,000, it's not cheaping it. But the thing is, those folks still got that $10,000. You know what I mean? You still helped out. So at that amount, I don't care if they want it just for the likes. They still gave away $50,000. So you get the likes for giving away $50,000.
But they about to write that shit off, Brazzy. Then they about to sell their book. And so let me show you how you can have
$50,000 into $500
to give
right?
away. To give away, yada, yada, yada. Follow my Facebook page and learn how. It's like,
but the thing about it is, I think there's a fine line because, I'm sure when you go for a service project or even in the Bruz, right? You take pictures.
I hate it.
And stuff and put it on there and, you put it on social media because you're like, we're doing good in the community because
I hate it.
Especially nonprofits, because you really have to think about if a nonprofit is doing it or you're somebody that's associated with a nonprofit, you have to get more people that's either giving you money and things like that. So you need to promote the good that you're doing. So there is that fine line of I'm putting it on social media to promote it so other people can, like you say, they can continue to do it and they can press towards expanding it. But there's also that you can kind of tell when people are doing it just for the likes. Like if that's not in their nature, if that's the only time you've seen them do anything good, but if there's somebody who feeds the homeless every weekend and you see it and they're on Instagram like, hey, I'm down here, y'all make sure y'all come down here too, yada yada yada, that's totally different than that one time, that one off. I'm feeding the homeless for Thanksgiving, and that's the only time they're going to see me. That's a little different, and I do feel like those instances is where you need to just stay off of social media. You need to really be doing it just for, if you're doing it to enrich yourself, do it to enrich yourself. Especially
if you're exploiting the people that you're helping. Mm-hmm. And so I've had this issue before. Because of some of the community service, I'm very active in our chapter that we do. And I know one project we do, and I think is a great cause. We feed a couple of hundred families every Thanksgiving and Christmas, but we also take pictures and for them because the frat requires us to, have proof of the community service. But it's like, man, this is a less fortunate family. This lady's over here, barely has, not well dressed, older family, this is not a picture moment. We pray with them, we do all that stuff. It's like, this is not a picture moment. Like, I don't want to put this, and this gets into the oracle and this tens of thousands of people looking at this lady or us doing this in her home and like this shack, or like, hey, let's pray with you. God bless you. Hopefully next year we don't have to come. I'm almost like, I pray every year when I do this that we don't have to bless you next year. I hope you're in a position where you say, hey, I'm good, pass over me, but we still have to get those pictures. Now, granted, one of my biggest faults is I'm not good at getting those type recognition. I think we talked about it before. We're not good at celebrating ourselves. And sometimes you need those recognition. Like in sales, some of our best salespeople, they'll say, have a brag book, have a brag folder. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, every time I go interview, like, pull up your brag book. I'm like, oh, I don't do that. Like, I don't save emails from my customers saying, hey, you did a great job, or an email from my manager or his manager. Like, I just, appreciate it and I keep on moving. Like, I'm not good at, and it probably hindered me. The people who are good at selling themselves sell themselves, I got to get better at it. Social media, definitely. I'm definitely not a social media hey, let me show you how much I love my wife for this day, or how much I love my kids. You know, if I do it, it's just random, and I just like, you know what, let me post this. You know, I'm just in the mood to say, hey, I love my kids this much, or I love my wife this much, or I love my friends this much. But no, yeah, that was a good one though. So, fellas, it's been a great episode. We're about to close on out. What do you have for us?
Ferg mentioned it was either Ferg or Riser. You guys mentioned our health group, man. If any of you guys are listening, shout out to you guys. Thanks for the participation. The plank challenge really took off. Vonda added the squat thing. It's just good to see the participation and that people just trying to get themselves together, especially during this quarantine when you're in a house full of smacks. You can't really go nowhere and be out and be active. It's good to try to be active in the house. Ferg always talks about being fit by 40. So a lot of us are turning 40 this year, early next year. So let's get it, man.
This quarantine got to making it hard, bro.
Yeah, man. Let's
all my gains I made in the last 3-4 years are slowly. After my surgery. It was
Ferg lying though. He fit, man. He already good.
But I'm not where I want to be. I was doing good for a minute, man. Like we were in Paris. People they thought I was like a professional. Like, what sport do you play? I'm like, nah, I'm good. What did you play in college? Even on the boat when we went on the cruise. What did you play college ball? Nah, dog. I just walk around like this. And I'm not saying I was, a beast or anything, but I felt good about myself. I don't feel good about myself right now, fellas.
But Ferg, you always been naturally cut up too, though.
Yeah, he has been. And one other thing before I kick it to Rozzy, on the Facebook page of Three Brothers No Sense, we posted a collection of what are those things called? Freezer pops or whatever like that.
Yeah.
Okay, a handful of you guys chose orange and purple. I'm sorry about sending the cops to your house, but it had to be done. All those choices, there were only 2 wrong answers, and a handful of you guys managed to get it wrong. But I hope you guys are back home and safe, but I had to send the authorities your way.
Orange is more wrong than purple, though.
That is true. That is actually true. Like orange should be left stranded in the freezer.
Yeah, that's that post-quarantine shit. Like, man, well, we can't get back out for another 2 weeks. I guess we got to go ahead and eat these orange. Like, it should be.
Man, Ollie likes orange. That's his favorite. He'll go for him.
But you need to worry about him, bro.
Teach him better.
The signs are there.
Oh man, the only thing I have, man, is like I said, I appreciate the special episodes. That it's been fun recording those and doing something a little different. So let us know how you guys like those special episodes, and let us know if you want more of that, just kind of differences. And we're also looking for guests. So if you guys want to hear about something in particular, let us know so that we can find a guest that may be able to give you a deeper insight into it than us. Because like we say, we don't have any sense. We're just 100% opinion with a little bit of facts in here every once in a while. But if you need some facts and you guys want some deep intellectual conversations on some things, let us know and we'll make sure we get folks on the show that can give us that. So that's all I got, man.
Well, 2 things real quick. First of all, Rozzy, you still owe my people a video.
I do. I'm sorry, man. Like I said, it's been like killing me. But yeah, I'll get it out.
Okay. And the second thing is I made a promise last episode that by this episode, we would at least have a therapist or a counselor in mind. And I held to that. We have our first counseling session, the wife and I, Z and I, tomorrow afternoon. So we're going to do our first marriage counseling together. So that's big for us. I've never done anything like that. We had to fill out all this paper, this questionnaire and stuff like that. And once again, I was trying to self-diagnose myself. So we'll see how this goes. But I made a promise and I wanted to give our listeners and my brothers here the heads up and the update. And so if anybody's out there making promises, or this is a time to all the things that you said you wanted to do or you need to do them. There's no time like the present. Tomorrow's not promised. Go ahead and get it done. So if you want to do it, do it. Hopefully everybody comes out of this crisis or this time period having accomplished something that they couldn't or didn't have time to do before. So, but with that being said, Three Brothers No Sense signing off. You know what to do. Listen, like, share, subscribe, comment, and most importantly, listen again. I'll let you next week.